Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, Gianni, we're going to switch gears a little bit. The stars aren't quite aligned anymore, huh? Is this truth, lies, or shenanigans?
We can't see them.
Oh, Gianni, I think we're struggling again.
These are some shenanigans. Um, is it struggling again?
I don't know what's
Just
going
keep
on.
talking. Even if
Keep going. We can hear you.
Okay.
just keep.
So I will bring to you guys this article that I found online. It talks about the night sky. So even in the darkest places on Earth, humankind is beginning to interfere with the view of the sky. Billions of stars that light up the sky haven't been as visible due to the increasing space satellites. More specifically, Elon Musk SpaceX launching now more than 1,300 small satellites into space as part of its Starlink internet service. So there
1300.
are more plans, 1,300, yep.
Wow.
There are more planned satellites to launch soon. A United Kingdom-based space company plans to have about 30,000 satellites up one day. Obviously, not any day soon, but eventually that's their goal. So satellites block the view of telescopes, ruining the images for astronomers that they need to conduct studies and track meteorites in space. This isn't light pollution. However, this is satellites invading the sky. Caitlin Casey is an astronomer um, at the University of Texas, and she put it best: the fact that one person or one company can take control and completely transform humans' experience of the night sky, and not just humans, but every organism on Earth, that seems profoundly wrong. Question to you guys: how do you feel about this, and how who will save the night sky?
Who will save the night sky? All right, let's
Mm.
start. I want to hear Robbie because Robbie is the nerd.
So
We're all
while I
nerds.
applaud the efforts
Yeah, we all
of
are.
Starlink to provide internet for everyone, no matter where you are on the planet, um, the hippie in me, the naturalist, really has to take a step back and really think about this because we already have a lot of space garbage, and to think that these corporate entities are just going to keep throwing more up there to further their pursuits and their endeavors, while there is some benefit for the human race, there's a lot that goes wrong. Our night skies are crucial to protecting our ecological health. A lot of animals, birds, and insects that travel at night use the moon and stars to navigate. And these artificial lights can really distract and lead wildlife off course. And not to mention that when these satellites are up, they do throw off some light pollution, just even if it's a sliver of it. I know that there's a new observatory that's being built in Chile that does a wide shot of the
Okay.
sky, and you can get, I believe they said 40 moons wide. So like that's a big slice of the sky. But once you have all of these little micro satellites up there, you won't be able to ever get an image without having that artificial light. And then you have to correct for it, you have to compensate for it. And it also diminishes our ability to see beyond. And we're really, I mean, that's part of what we're doing. We're looking for class M planets out there. That is, I think, one of the long term goals for humanity. But it's if we want just internet everywhere, we're going to diminish our chances to explore other areas that may advance us.
Yeah. What do you
Bad for
think,
the
Lizzie?
critters.
I think this is another example that humans are
Hmm.
innately imperialist. Humans have, we just our automatic inclination is just to go and impose ourselves on territories where in many instances and a lot of occasions we have no business. Um, it's not the sky's fault that these people live in rural areas in the middle of nowhere and they can't, get internet. That's a personal choice. And so, yeah, I think, in one respect, it's cool that, we're giving people access to a technology that they wouldn't normally have, but at what cost? At what cost? I don't think it's cool. I'm not really for it. I don't want to look up into the sky and think I'm seeing stars, but then again, no, I'm really seeing a Elon Musk satellite. Like that's not that's not where I want us to go with technology and with our advancement. I think we all need to take a step back, put our billions by the wayside for a second, and kind of gauge how this is going to affect future generations. Because, like Rob just said, there's a lot of space garbage out there. There's
I've been
a
corrected
lot.
by Kevin Thaxton. Space debris. Garbage gets collected. The debris leaves, and that's a space officer joke. So thank you, Kevin Thaxton.
As an English
Yeah,
professor,
he's part of the Space Force. He's on the Space.
as an English professor, semantics. So again, there's a lot of space garbage out there, and at this point, we don't know, the negative effects that it's having on the atmosphere, that it's having on not our life forms, but other life forms that might be there that could trickle down to us as well. So yeah, I'm not in favor of all of this. I'm not in favor of all of this. Like, internet service is a privilege. It's not a right.
Yeah.
And so we need to really, try to scale down how we view this and how we are going to move forward with this, and at what cost.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I watch a lot of movies, or I just want to point out. So Kevin Thaxton said Morpheus called it. It was us that killed the sky. Or Morpheus from
From the Matrix.
from the Matrix, from one of my favorite movies of all time. But with that being said,
Mhm.
I don't know. I've watched a lot of movies, and I've been looking forward to being able to look up in the sky and see like a whole world or a whole nother. Maybe I can travel to another, city in the sky. And, a separate moon. I don't know. I've been looking forward to it. I don't know if you remember Total Recall. There's a bunch of other movies where you have like cities in space.
But
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sorry.
But space
So
might not want you. That's what we don't take into consideration. Space may not want you. It might not be a place for you.
we got to expand somewhere.
Space is not a place for humans. No. Space kills.
Neither is water.
Like
But
I
we're in
said,
water.
the innate nature of humans to be imperialists, thinking that we have a right to all space.
I'm excited. More space. Let's get more space stations. I want to see. I want them so big that I can see them.
You're barely going to make it out of the atmosphere.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a nerd. But I'm looking
But
forward
there's
to
water
Star
on
Wars and
Earth.
the big Death Star, and I can see it all. Yeah,
This is
I'm
not
looking forward.
Hollywood. This is not Hollywood.
Hollywood.
No, but
I think
Hollywood
the only thing
leads
that's
our technology,
scary is
leads us to the future.
yeah.
Hollywood leads a lot of our ignorance and our idea that
True. I can't
that's
disagree with
what
that.
reality.
Can't disagree with that. But I mean, think of Star Trek. Star Trek is the reason we have phones, smartphones, like flip phones and things like that. Because that's the flip phone. They wanted to design a flip phone and things like that, a portable phone device that you can talk. You wouldn't have this if it wasn't for Star Trek, and their communicators. And then think about the little things in the communicators
Wow.
on the Star Trek where they press the button to talk.
I
Same
mentioned this
thing.
a couple of episodes ago.
Bluetooth.
If you want to
Yeah.
think about Hollywood, go back and watch the Twilight Zone episode "To Serve Man," and what happened to those people that got on the rocket, that got on the space
Yeah.
shuttle, that went out supposedly to another planet to live for like 100 years. They got eaten. They were a part of Earth human soup. Space may not
Okay.
be for
See?
us.
Hey, I'm ready for it. Give me a ticket. Give me a ticket.
If you get eaten,
Yeah.
if you get eaten out there, I'm more than willing to take over the show. I'm more than willing.
No, because Elon Musk has made sure I'm gonna have internet out there, so I'm good. That's my,
Elon Musk is too busy trying to, jockey in position on whether he's going to be the biggest, the wealthiest person on the planet. Think about you out in space. He didn't think about you in space.
Elon Musk gonna take care of me and my internet needs. So, Gianni, what are your final thoughts? Or
Yeah.
what are your final thoughts, Gianni? I think she's still lagging a bit. All right.
I don't know why my internet. I
I
don't
don't think
know
it,
what it
it might be. I think
is.
it's. I
My
mean, I
phone
think it's the
today.
phone actually.
But
I don't
if you
think
guys,
because your internet's rolling pretty smooth. I think it might be your
You
if
phone.
you guys can
need
hear
to worry
me,
about Gianni's internet here.
my final thoughts.
Gianni's internet is actually
Worry
rolling
about,
pretty smooth. It's not. It's not her
worry
internet. I
about
think it might be the
Gianni in
phone.
Atlanta. Worry about Gianni in Atlanta first.
Yeah,
All right. It's all right. So let's get to some of the comments online.
exactly.
Okay. All right. So Jacqueline Robin says we loused up the planet Earth, so now we want to go to other planets and mess those up.
Thank you.
Heading to Mars. Head to Mars. We're gonna start doing some stuff.
You cannot
So we put a
survive on
helicopter
Mars.
up there, right in Mars.
You cannot survive on Mars.
Yes, you can. You have to make it happen. People surviving in space itself.
I thought you had an affiliation with NASA. I thought you were a little bit smarter than this.
Which is why I have some knowledge.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
All right. Kevin Thaxton says life imitates art and vice versa. Let's see. Elaine says internet is fast becoming a right as opposed to the privilege we once knew. Everything is being connected as we as a race are okay. Sorry, can't make out the rest of that.
It's
Um,
not. You can't pay for it. It's not a right if you can't pay for it.
well, hopefully they'll make it free at some point.
Yeah, right. In what country? On what planet?
I mean, they've been trying.
Well, actually, in Canada, Canadian lawmakers did declare that access to inexpensive, dependable, and fast
Hell of a
internet
lot.
connection is a basic right for all Canadians. And even more so now, like Vanessa Cadell was saying in the thread, it depends on where you are. I know that there have been a lot of
It's not
infrastructure
happening in
projects
America.
for remote areas, but it
Not
is a
happening.
basic
Oh,
human
yeah.
right in Canada,
Not in a
and more
capitalist
so now
society.
during COVID, when we're doing distance education, everyone is isolated. That internet connectivity is something that people
Listen,
need.
Rob, you may not be aware of this, but there are certain internet service Wi-Fi plans in this country during the pandemic that have changed the plans for their customers, to which they are charging more for data usage. During the pandemic,
Yeah.
when they know that people are at home, working from home, doing in-home schooling, all of that stuff, they're charging more now outside of the original plan for data usage. Again, America is all about the dollar bills, y'all. You guys have a better healthcare system than we do.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening in Canada. In here, in these United States, the internet will never be free.
Yeah, it's capitalist society. I kind of agree with Liz. I don't think it'll ever happen here. I
True.
just want to point out V527 on V.527 on I think that's Instagram. She says Groupon was selling land on Mars. Hard to believe, but they did. Yeah, they were selling. You know, they sell stars too.
Who's
Wow.
building on that land? Who's building on that land? Have they broken ground on that land up there?
I think I remember the moon being sold at one point.
Listen,
What do they got going on?
if you listen to Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, the moon landing was a whole, it was a folk. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. We still have these flat earthers here as well.
Flat Earth. All right, let's get on to the last time.
Those flat earthers.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
That was a fun topic, Gianni. I like that one.
Me too. I like that.
All right, Robbie, you've got some artwork you wanted to share with us. Let's see what you got. Truth, lies, or shenanigans.
This is truth and some fun shenanigans.
Culture.
Right now, like
Culture.
right, culture, education. There's so much negative news out there, and we've been covering it for weeks. It's an endless news cycle. So I really needed to find something a little bit more joyful to share with everyone today. And I came across the Uffizi Gallery in Florence, Italy. And since